Hello. Welcome in. This is Birds of a Feather Podcast with your boy Q City.
Your boy Taj Bravado.
And this is episode 39. The buck stops here. Right? So we're about to look at last week versus the Bucs. Look what's going on next week. Big game versus the Carolina Panthers. About to see how this all goes down in division. Look at the playoff seasons and whatnot. And then we got some city talk at the end. So come along with us. Enjoy this ride. Taj, my man. Taj. We vehemently discussed the importance of this game last week, right? We talked about what it meant to the division standings, what it meant to the playoff seedings, what it meant to the team and Arthur Smith's coaching career in general. We talked about how important this game was. And I'm going to keep it G real with you. I feel like Arthur got the message. I feel like Ritter got the message. But there were certain aspects on the team I don't feel got that message in them because this was a game of execution. This was a game of missed execution on all three phases, offense, defense, special teams, right? So, obviously, 29-25 loss versus the Bucs, huge game. You got Baker, 2 touchdowns, but only 144 yards, right? He wasn't super prolific throughout the day. White had a big day, right? We talked about him as a highlight player. But on the outside, they're 2 studs. 6 receptions, 61 yards. Corners were locking down, right? No touchdowns between the both of them. On our offensive side of the ball, you got Ritter with 347, a touchdown, a pick that, we'll get into. I don't really feel like was his fault. In total, right over 100 rushing yards. Bijan had 84 total. Screwed me on the 95 and a half over, but it's all good.
I got screwed.
And then but the big one is the third phase. Koo missing 2 field goals. Those 6 points was really the tipping point in putting us over the edge. Overall, I felt like overall we were completely in this game. And then execution down the end killed us. Tell me how you saw it,
man. That's ultimately how I saw it. I mean, I don't really put those 2 turnovers on Ritter. That was a bad play call and a great defensive play. So when you get those 2 things combined, bad shit happen. The safety. It's a bad idea to do a 7-step drop when you're on end zone.
Play action 7-step drop.
Yeah, so
and you're asking your fullback to slide over and check a blocking safety. I felt like I haven't looked at the film yet. Obviously, we get into the app recording early. Haven't looked at the film yet, but it looked like Ritter checked the safety, like knew the blitz was coming that side, and so slid the protection over. And he just missed. Like he just straight up missed. And so we go to the first interception, right? I don't feel like it was the worst play call in the world, but I feel like there's nothing else you can do in that situation, right? So as a quarterback, if you have a wide receiver, you have to let it go because you're going to get an eligible receiver downfield. You know what I'm saying? Like your offensive linemen are already starting to that's the play. There's no check out of that. There's no throw it away. Like you could have threw it away. You could have tried to throw it over his head. You know what I'm saying? But it's you turn your back to that side and then you turn around and throw a screen. You're kind of throwing blind. You know what I'm saying? And so Carlton just made a great play there. I don't necessarily put that on Ritter because there's nothing else you could do in that situation.
Right. He's just running the play.
And to my knowledge, it didn't seem like there were any tells to say, the receiver didn't even get his hands on the block Carlton. Like, he literally just recognized the play and jumped it.
That was just film study. Even though I don't recall us putting it on film, just like certain tendencies like that, it's kind of easy to jump it.
Now, when it came to the safety, that was just, slightly bad play call, but on the same token, bro, you got to execute. You're a fullback. You slide over the block, you got to take out the safety, bro. Now, the broadcast brought it out. Ritter did he kind of held the ball for a second there, right?
See, my thing with that is it was a 2-man route. So you call that long developing pass play with the intention of looking for something deep. So he's trying to buy as much time as he can for that, and then by the time he gets down to the check down, the fullback is chasing him and saying, "Look out!"
Now check this out, bro.
This just I don't like that play call at that spot.
I don't necessarily like look at it like, oh man, by all means we're going to be able to hit this play call and knock it out the park. But we couldn't run the ball there in that situation. It wasn't like Tampa was just like stout up front, keeping us from getting anything. We were able to move the ball, I would say pretty decently, but I felt like in that situation, stacking up, running the ball, seeing if we could get a push might have been the best situation. Now, there's a caveat to that. Our offensive line is decimated.
Yeah. We was down to Bergeron, and then Chris Lindstrom came back to start the half. But yeah, for the most part, it was just all backups.
My man. All right, back at it. So when we talk about Kuz's kicking points, right? How they were big swings in the game. The first one, what was that, 57 yards? Kuz an all-pro, but that's not a gimme by any means, right? So I can't sit here and be like, you should have made that one. That one before half, bro, especially off the heels of that safety, was an absolute killer not making it. And it seemed like he tried to overcorrect in that instance.
Yeah, that happens. That happens. You can't have that. Because when you try to overcorrect, bad things happen.
And it seemed as though that affected Arthur's play call. I can't say it overly affected his play call in the second half, but it did seem like he was being much more aggressive. He went for fourth and 2 or 4th and 1 at like the 36 or 37? Because it was just like, these aren't guaranteed points right here, especially when it got late. I think at that point it was 19-10.
Yeah, well, yeah, we needed the touchdown. We needed like real points. So I understand the reasoning.
Now our defense was playing good today, man. I can't say that like they put us in a bad position. I feel like late they just kind of got worn down. You know what I'm saying? And not to give excuses or anything like that. It just really was in a situation to where White was leaning on him. And then 28 came in, leaned on him a little bit. And you started to see where they were really stout earlier in the day. And losing streak did not help. Not help losing streak. Like, we were light inside.
Yeah. That's ultimately what it came down to. We were too light in the middle, and they realized it, and they just attacked. As any good team should.
As they should. I can't hold it against them. A revelation in the special teams, putting Offer back there. Me and you was texting. That was a good decision. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. When they first put him back there, I thought they were just conceding the fact that we're not going to get any punt return yards, right? Especially you constantly. Okay.
No, I was going to say, I always thought he was probably the better option because even back in preseason, he's the only one that did anything with the ball when it came to punt return, given he had the only punt return touchdown.
So how I look at it usually is that a punt could be a 3-and-out, right? A punt could be 3-and-out where you only play 3 snaps. If you're the nickel corner, so you're damn near a starter, right? Like you're gonna play between 48 and 60 snaps on any given game. So you're damn near a starter. So putting you back there for punt returns after going through a series that may be anywhere from 3 plays to 6 to 8 plays, because if they're punting, obviously they've either haven't crossed half field or they just barely crossed it. You know what I'm saying? So to put you out there, it's kind of to me just like, okay, we're conceding because this guy might be dealing with fatigue and whatnot. We're just going to put you in a position to where you catch the ball, you ain't got to do nothing crazy with it. I just need sure hands back there type situation, right? Not the case. He's catching the right punts. He's letting things bounce they need to. And today, I think he had I think it was only 3 returns, but 2 of them he was able to have some decent yardage with. And so that's just been a revelation because the punt return situation that we had going on earlier in the year was just it was complete crap.
Hughes was horrible. Hughes was horrible at that. Decision making, and even when he talked about, he wasn't doing anything with it. So Alford, he's much more decisive. He gets the ball and he gets upfield quickly. Like he looks like he's a much more natural. He looks much more natural with the ball in his hands.
Mm-hmm. Now, the sore spot on the defense, which we talked about last week, right, is like we do have a weak link in the secondary, and they picked on him. Richie Graham gave up that touchdown.
Like Okuda's the weak link, and I told you.
Yeah, nah, man. Like
you were like it's Okuda. I said, nope, it's Richie.
Hey, we're gonna get to Okuda in a minute. But like weak link in terms of NFL players. Like if you put me out there on the defense, of course any NFL wide receiver is gonna cook me. So like we're talking about this relative to NFL players. I hate that we even have to put that disclaimer, but you'll see some dumbass in the comments. Oh, you can't go out there and cover. Of course I can't cover him. What do you mean?
I can.
You with bad knees, bro.
I can. Come see.
But
I'm not getting the comments up.
Oh, they ain't factual. Please don't. Like I can't put up no NFL player, but like I could burn you. Like you know what I'm saying? Like unknown user 6670. Like I could burn you, nigga. But regardless, when you look at it, bro, like didn't matter what they put on him. He doesn't excel in any cover. And I don't say this to blast him, be mean, or anything like that. He does not excel in man. He does not excel in zones. He is highly penalized. He's not a big hitter. It's kind of like
I'm gonna push back on that one. He will bring that wood. That's the one thing he can do is just that's it.
I don't see him in those positions because like. And you know what? Playing next to Bates, because like when you're playing next to a great player, it does highlight your weaknesses, right? So like when I look at Bates is exceptional in run support, right? So when I think of like big hitters coming down, filling a hole, filling the box, I'm thinking about Bates. And so
Bates ain't no big
in that situation, he done had a couple this year. He done had a couple this year. He done had a couple this year.
He's a sure tackler, but he's no big hitter.
But Baker did run the fuck over him. Like that shit was tough. Baker straight shoulder to chest on the goal line. But it wasn't really nothing you could do. I mean, your feet are in the end zone. It's just you probably gonna get through. But regardless, like I haven't seen anywhere that Richie Grant excels. And like I ain't calling for this man job or anything like that. It's just how do you mitigate that going forward in the season? Because like this is what it is now. You're not replacing them. You're not, you know what I'm saying? There's no sure upgrade on the roster that I can see. Yeah,
it's too late. So it is what it is. But I did notice that there are times where he's off the field. Because I think it was like the first or second drive where I seen they were second down, and then they got the third and longer. Then I seen them coming onto the field. I'm like, wait a minute, you went on the field? So it looks like Helms is starting to eat into his playing time.
Now, Helms took a really bad angle on that big catch that got him. He took a really bad angle on that big catch that got him. But I could chalk that up to rookie mistake. Right? Chalk that up to just you learning. But that was critical.
Also leans on one of his biggest weaknesses coming out, which is coverage.
Yeah, especially on wide receivers in particular. But someone who excelled in coverage, who was a baller today, bro. Clark Phillips. This man straight strapped up all freaking day, bro. And Okuda, please rent, bro. Please rent. You understand me? There are beautiful condos in Atlanta. There are some great eateries. You know what I'm saying? Rent and get an Uber, bro. Rent and do Uber. Please don't get a lease nowhere. Atlanta Toyota, they're going to try to throw money at you. Don't worry about it, bro. Don't go buy a house because like Clark taking that job, bro. Clark is taking that boundary corner job. It's not there for you, big dog. Like Okuda might be out of job. Okuda might be out of job, especially if he's trying to command the money that we was talking about last week. Clark Phillips was a fourth round pick, bro.
Yeah.
You found a starting boundary corner in the fourth round, or is he fifth? No, he's fourth round, right?
No, it was fourth.
He's fourth
He had
round.
second round potential. He would have won the second round if he was taller. That's the only reason he was there in the fourth is because he's 5'9".
Play bigger than it today.
He played
and
boundary.
He's been playing bigger.
Yeah. Hey, but I was trying to tell you, was like, I don't know how I feel about him on the outside. I said, look, the man can work.
He could work. He could work. The thing I loved about him today, like I said, we ain't watched the tape yet or whatever. Plays leverages, man. Plays leverages. Is he a little handsy? Yes. Do I think if he was starting full time, he would get penalized? He's probably gonna get you one penalty a game. He probably gonna get one defensive holding that's gonna extend the drive and drive you crazy. But you can hold Mike Evans to one catch, 8 yards. It wasn't just him. AJ was on him too.
No, well, that was more AJ than anything.
It was more AJ. It was more AJ. But you hold Mike Evans to one catch, 8 yards, and for a majority of the day, Godwin had under 45 yards or under 30 yards. That last catch was like his real big one. You know what I'm saying? So like a majority of the day, you're holding Godwin under 30 yards. Like, bro, you are balling out. 2 pass deflections. Like, look, man, hey, dude can play.
Definitely. For a rookie, he's very nuanced in his technique. Because even though like the one call he got called on, it could have went either way. It wasn't nothing egregious or nothing like that. It was just some subtle shit. So you could tell he's a student of the game. I mean, I don't
You kind of
think
have
he's
to be
gonna
at that size.
continue the season as a starter. Yeah, I don't think he's going to continue the season as a starter. But next season, I definitely think this is going to be his role.
And it sucks because Alford is such a good slot corner. You wouldn't want to take Phillip. You're not going to take Alford off the field, right? Like
No.
AJ, All Pro AJ, Okuda. It's like because of what you're paying him this year, and Clark is still a rookie. You do want to start him, right? You want to have him on the
really
field.
paying Akuda much though.
We're not really, but I think just like pedigree, doing right by the player, I think he starts for the rest of the year.
I mean, he will, but we don't owe him nothing. We got him for a first round pick. That's his value to us.
I don't disagree with you there entirely.
Detroit drafted him 3rd overall. We didn't.
No, I don't disagree with you entirely over there, but like that goes into the nuance of like being a good steward of the league and stuff like that. You know, a guy's going into free agency. You don't want to replace him off injury in the back half of the season when you're in a division race for a rookie, even though it is more economically responsible. I just think overall, when you think about like their position to stand in the league, the Falcons are known as an up and up organization, right? And you don't want to screw guys over like that because like that would severely impact his ability in free agency.
I mean, it would, like, but so does his injury history.
Nah, that's also true. But then that's like you get replaced for injury because you can't get back on the field, and then you go into free agency. A team is still going to take a chance on you. You get bench report play. Like a team is going to use that against you. If you get not necessarily bench for poor play, you get bench per injury. I think but players start looking at your organization a little funny.
I mean, I don't think so because at the end of the day, it's just like if this dude is playing well, then shit happens. At the end of the day, it's a business first.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like,
I just think overall, I know for this season, the rest of this season, Akuda's probably gonna start.
I mean, yeah, I know Akuda's going, but I'm just saying, like, if they were to go the other way, like, you can't blame them. Like,
well, I wouldn't be mad. I don't
think that would deter anybody else from doing it because it's a business and you just got to do what you feel is best for the team.
Now, you talked about what's best for the team. Let's talk about something that was amazing for the team. Throw the ball up there. London down there somewhere, bro. London is down there somewhere, dog. And Ritter finally got that through his head today. Like, throw it up there, man. Hey, Ritter. Hey, London down there somewhere, bro. London Drake flashed all the potential that made him a top 10 pick today, bro. 10 for 172. The last play drove me freaking crazy because you didn't even throw the ball into the end zone. But like, it just is what it is. That goes back to Koo missing those kicks. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, if we had the 6 points, we would have won. But if you had the one before halftime and you just like,
it's a 3-point game.
You can't
miss the whole approach to that drive.
Everything. Even if you give up that touchdown with 31 seconds left, you got 2 touchdowns. You know, you got 2 timeouts. It really, if you're driving to tie or win the game in that situation with a field goal, it's completely different than 4 points down, got to score a touchdown. Like, Tampa lined up 7 dudes on the goal line, rushed forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was, and still damn near got home. But I don't want to take away from, even if you take away that last catch, which I think was about 20-something yards, he went 9 for 150, bro. London had a freaking game, dog. That is what you want to see out of a number 1 dominant receiver.
Yeah, he played like the number 8 pick that he is. That catch on our scoring drive.
Over 2, when he took it from Winfield. And I'm not going to lie to you. Had he kept his feet, he's gliding into the end zone, bro. Yeah. He gliding into the end zone.
If he could have found a way to keep that balance, that was it. Like, man. That was probably the best catch I've seen him make.
In a long time. Hold on, no. Was it the Saints catch where his helmet came off? That was a freaking good catch.
I mean, that was a good catch, but like that one, because it looked like a pick, and he
I think we talked about it in the betting pod about him getting opportunities. The beautiful part about it, bro, 10 receptions today. How many targets he had?
11, I think.
11 targets, bro. You throw this man the ball, he's gonna catch it. You throw the man this ball, he's gonna catch it, bro.
But that goes back to what I was also saying on the betting pod, is that he always has big games versus the Bucs. His last 3 games versus the Bucs have all went over 100. Those were his only 100-yard games, I believe.
I wouldn't doubt it. He's got the secret sauce. He's got the juju against him. Now, my Drake for over 1,000 receiving yards looks slightly better after that game.
Yeah, 700 now?
He almost
7, like 15.
Nah, it's close. It's closer to 8 because what's it called? He was at like 580 when we checked, or 560 when we checked.
So it's probably at 750 now.
Somewhere in there. 745, yeah. 745. So, 255 yards over the course of 4 games, I think can be done.
Should be able to be.
What is that? It's like 60-something yards a game. So, but regardless, London had a big game. That was beautiful. Bijan under the 95 and a half, but he had a good game. He had a good game, man. They were able to move the ball with Algier. I really wish they would have featured him a little bit more, but Bijan had a hot hand. You just have a bunch of weapons on this offense. And it looked like it honestly looked like they didn't have a problem moving the ball. You know what I'm saying? Koo makes them 2 field goals. You're talking about this team scoring 30 points in this game. Right? Yeah, 28-31. You're scoring 30 points in this game. But I think the reason for the title of the episode, The Buck Stops Here, right, is that we can't keep talking about what could happen, what should happen, what will happen. 4 weeks ago, we were saying, we really need to fire Arthur Smith. He took his bye week, and I can honestly say there's some humility in his play calling. He is really like, I'm going Jimmy and Joe's over X's and O's. I am going to get my playmakers involved. Yes, it was a blown coverage to Pitts, but like I'm dialing up something for Pitts, right? Also, heard something disgusting on the broadcast, bro. That touchdown today, that was Pitt's fifth career touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, that's no
That feels
surprise.
racist to me. Like, like it feels racist. It's probably not, but it feel like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell, bro? You are an awesome talent. You have scored 5 touchdowns in 3 years.
It's not entirely his fault.
London has 2 touchdowns on the season, 6 for his career. And Bijan is, I think he's at 5
Running back's different.
for this season.
You can't compare what he's doing to what receivers and.
No, I think that's stupid low. I think Bijan having 5 touchdowns this season is crazy low for the amount of talent he is and the amount of production that we have running the ball up and down the field, right? Like, it's either,
I mean, but
I think it's 5 rushing.
It's 4 rushing and 2 receiving, I believe.
So he has 6. Now, be honest with me. Could Bijan have 11 touchdowns this year? At this point, do you feel like he should have 11 touchdowns with 4 games left?
Yep.
Which means your rookie year, you could have 13 touchdowns.
He should definitely have more than what he got. That's for sure.
Because just off the top of my head, he left 1 on the table with the Commanders game. He left 1 on the table versus the Saints.
7 touchdowns.
Was it 5 rushing, 2 receiving?
No, 4 rushing and 3 receiving.
3 receiving. Okay. So, all right, off the top of my head, he should be at 9. And I'm just thinking rushing. I haven't even thought of receiving opportunities. So, like, you could say you could be at 11 touchdowns right now.
He
Just the amount.
should have had another one today. Ritter, he tripped and Ritter missed him, but
Yeah. And they had to settle. I think in that, so when I'm looking at it, right? But even that play call, we was all calling for Arthur's head a month ago, right? But you see, he has some humility in his play calling. He's like, I'm going to get the guys involved. You're right. I'm not the smartest guy in the room. You know what? I need these guys to win. And I am highlighting these guys within my play calling. At some point in time, bro, it literally just comes down to execute. You can't just keep, the coach is doing this. You can't just keep, I missed assignment. I missed a block. I missed a kick. The buck has to stop here. There has to be some accountability in how we are and how the team is performing. Because this shouldn't have been a game you lost. And not just saying like the Bucks, not just I believe the Bucks are an inferior team. That's not even the point I'm getting at. Literally in how you called the game and how you were moving the ball through the game, you should have won this game.
yeah, we should have. Absolutely.
You can't just keep rolling it back on the coach, right? Like Ritter, for the most part, played a flawless game, bro. Right? Like if you want to say, oh, he had a safety and a pick, like if you watch the game, you saw, bro, like neither one of those was like. If you want to put the safety on him strictly for the fact that he palmed the ball for a second, I can kind of listen to you there. I'm not putting that pick on him. So the man had 347 yards passing, had another, 20, 30 rushing, and a touchdown. Like, at some point in time, you got to just straight up say, like, yo, we're not executing in key phases of the game at key points in the game, and it's costing us games.
Yeah, it definitely
Today it was cool. Yeah, today it was cool, right? Today it was cool. But how many times in the past 11 weeks have we got on here and said, oh, Richard Grant messed up? You know what I'm saying? When Ritter messed up this week. Oh, Bijan fumbled this week. Oh, Kyle Pitts didn't run a route this week. Like at some point in time, you either coaching it or you allowing it to happen. And I can't put it all on the coach. As players, we got to step up. You gotta execute what's being called. You gotta execute what's being called. Because I can't even argue on what's being called and what's supposed to be called anymore. Because this was a 30-point outing. This was a 30-point outing. Now, I will be honest, that last play of the game drove me crazy. But outside of that, I can't really find too much fault in Arthur's play calling today.
Yeah, I mean, just the biggest thing is just execution. That's the main thing. Execution. And then like them injuries did affect us up front though. Because we weren't able to move the ball on the ground the way I thought we would have been able to, especially without Vita Vea. Now, Ritter didn't play flawless. He still got lucky because on the play he missed I think Levante David missed the pick, and then the other linebacker 52. He tried to look him off, and then just immediately just came back, threw it straight to him.
Oh, that no look pass shit. That no look pass shit he tried to do.
Yeah.
Who's that? Britt? I think it was Britt Jr.
Yeah, Britt, yep.
58.
Yeah, Britt.
Yeah,
52.
He was taking that to the house.
Yeah, hit him right there. Like so, like he's. But I mean, in theory, you would think that would work to look him off, and then when you come back to it, you would expect he would be off the spot, but he was sitting right there. So, I mean, that I'm gonna chalk that up just the young quarterback play because he still is a young quarterback. He's gonna he hasn't seen enough football. But yeah, it's if it's not one thing, it's another thing. That's just what sums up the Falcons. If it ain't one thing, it's a motherfucking another.
and we're falling into it every week. We're falling into it every week that someone is the GOAT, right? Somebody is the reason we lost this week.
Because like we put up 400 yards of total, over 400 yards of offense, and we don't have the points to show.
And we didn't even have terrible red zone outings this week.
No, oddly enough, our issues we had like 2 or 3 just flat up 3 and outs. One of them was you said there was a good different play, but I still expect Drake to come down with that.
That play, that one hurt, bro. Because like
it hurt.
It was a good defensive play. It was a good defensive play. Like second the ball got there, he was going straight for the punch out because he knew he couldn't. Like if he would have just tackled London, like Drake would have caught the ball. You know what I'm saying? But he straight went for the punch out. It was a good play, right? It was a good play. But London he could have held on to that. If he would have held on to that, we're looking at a totally different game late.
Yeah, because that would have been the first down with the momentum. So like, but because let me see how many times we threw the ball versus how many times we ran. We threw the ball 40 times.
Mm-hmm.
We ran the ball about 25. That's not a good recipe. We like the fact that Ritter was able to at least keep it relatively clean for 40 attempts is great. But we still don't need him throwing that many times.
Yeah, but here's the crazy part. It wasn't a whole bunch of screens and checkouts, bro.
He was aggressive.
Yeah.
Ritter
He's playing big boy quarterback.
An aggressive quarterback. He was averaging 13.3 yards an attempt.
Mm-hmm.
So like the yards are there, but we gotta clean it up with the other stuff because the run game. Tyler and Bijan combined for 19 carries. Cordell had 3, Ritter had 4, so maybe just under like about 19, 22, 26 carries.
Mm-hmm. I think it was right over 100 yards.
No. Right under. Looks like 40, 30, 15, and 7. Yeah, it looks like we're right under it. Yeah. Because this game didn't feel. I mean, I guess we were down 9 points. So I mean, I guess with 40 attempts.
Yeah, 9 points in the fourth quarter. Yeah, and scored 15 in the fourth, bro.
Like
Scored 15 in the fourth.
Ritter plays his best ball in the fourth quarter. Like I remember, I was texting you. I wish we can get Ritter fourth quarter Ritter in all quarters. You said then he wouldn't be fourth quarter. You said then he wouldn't be fourth quarter Ritter. I said exactly. He'd be a top 12 quarterback.
Yeah, I mean he would. He would. It's just I'm not gonna lie. 31 seconds left. I thought there was an
I was
opportunity,
confident.
and
I was,
yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
confident. I
And
was like,
I
you know
think
what?
that
There's a
goes to
chance.
there's a chance. There's a chance. I would have felt it would have felt amazing if we were able to hold the Bucks to a field goal, right? Like
Yeah.
if we had been able to hold them to a field goal, no matter what
Let's
amount
say
of
it's
time
more
was left,
dynamic.
I was yeah. It's just giving up that touchdown was it's killing. It's a kick in the dick. Like it's not really much you can. It takes the winds out your sail. The whole team was hyped and riding that wave of emotion, but you can see the defense was getting just gassed and gashed. Like we don't have enough big bodies. Like they started to lean on them. It snowballed and it sucks. But we got to regroup because we have another really big game coming right at us again next week versus the Panthers.
You know, they don't put hands on them. I'm going to have problems.
All right.
Like
So
I need a statement game. Statement win, not a game. I need a statement win.
I mean, let's get straight into it, bro. Next week versus the Panthers, the 1-11 Panthers coming off a 28-6 loss versus the Saints. Now I'm gonna keep it G real with you, bro, because like that's the game that was on here. So I was watching that game. That game, it was 28-6. That game was not a 28-6 game, bro. Like that
It
thing was
looks
14.
closer.
Yeah, that thing was 14-6 for the longest. And like the Panthers missed like a 30-yard field goal. That whole team needs to be gutted. And the fact that they don't have a first round pick this year, and I think they don't have a 3, if I'm not mistaken, it's gonna
No, they
snowball.
got their
But
3. They got their 3.
they gave their 3 last year. They gave the 3
Yeah,
last year.
yeah.
Okay, so they just don't have their 1 this year. So you got a 2, you got a 3, you got a 4. They may need to see. I hate to say it. See if you can move Brian Burns and try to restock because, bro, there's a lot of help needed on that team. First and foremost, they need some wide receiver help. They need some wide receiver help bad, and it's so counteracted the fact that you traded away DJ Moore, who single handedly beat the damn Lions today, and you got receivers dropping wide open passes from Bryce Young. Like, it's a cruel world. It's a cruel world, bro.
No, looking at free agency, I don't think it actually happened, but you know, there's another receiver that's in the NFC South that will be available, and he's pretty good. The number 13 for the Buccaneers.
He's not
I don't
going
know.
nowhere. You know
I
this.
don't know if he. We don't. Money talks.
Yeah, and the Bucks is finna throw a whole lot of money at that man, bro.
I don't think the
Like,
Bucks are because they had the opportunity to resign him and that window closed, and he said, "Well, we'll just see what happens."
Mike Evans ain't going. I can't even imagine him in another jersey, bro. Like, nah, Mike Evans ain't going nowhere.
People said the same thing about Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, and look where they are.
I feel you. I don't think Aaron like.
Never say never.
No, so I think about it in terms of the offense as a totality. Who are you paying on the offense?
The Bucks
Tristan
have money
Wirfs is coming
problems.
up. No, I'm saying Tristan Wirfs is coming up. So like you got to pay him. They signed their left tackle out of free agency.
But Wirfs is the left tackle.
Right tackle then. They locked up their tackles. Godwin got paid last year?
Yeah, then you got
'Cause
both your corners are paid. Carlton Davis and Jamel Dean.
Winfield's
I
coming.
believe.
He's coming up.
Then Vita Vea got paid.
David
Devontae
got
David.
paid.
Now,
But that's defensively. On the offensive side of the ball, you're not really paying nobody.
but you gotta you can't just break it down offense
No, no,
defense. You
no.
gotta look at the whole picture.
I'm saying you're looking at the you're looking at the whole picture, but like if you're not paying a quarterback top money, who's taking out a big piece of the pie? Right?
The
You're not
defense.
paying your defense, yeah, but to an extent, the highest paid defensive position is a mix between the outside linebacker and the corner. You paid your corner, but you didn't pay him top tier money. You didn't pay him 20 million a year money. Like, you should have enough to pay Mike Evans.
Right now, what the Bucks have for 2024 in cap space, I mean, okay, they gonna have about 40 million. That's
Yeah.
2024 because right now they got about two. They'll have 40 million. Um,
And your main focus is Whitfield, Evans, and uh Whitfield, Evans, and we just said one more was coming up.
okay, this
Either way. Either way. But we're losing the plot. We're losing the plot. Back at it. We're on the Panthers. Right? They are experiencing a truly terrible season. And I don't see an end in sight for them, but that ain't none of my concern or business. Right? My concern and business, we should be able to go in here and thump these boys up. Now they're playing hard. And I don't think that we're gonna see the same Bryce Young that we saw in week one. Because you don't really see it in the points being scored, but he is playing much, much better football. Like even today, he's scrambling out of situations. He's throwing the ball away more effectively. Like you can see, I'm not gonna lie, he's still short. He's still short and he's very small. But like, I can see why y'all are like, he could be the number one overall pick because the kid's smart. The kid is smart, and you can see him figuring out. He just doesn't have the talent around. It's not there. You know what I'm saying? And because it's not there, we need to benefit from that. I'm sorry. Like, you know what I'm saying? We can't afford to sit here and be like, to let a drastically less talented team beat us. Now, with our offensive line problems, I don't exactly know how this is going to look coming in the next week. What you thinking, bro?
Last time we played them, Brian Burns wrecked us. We came up with the win, but Brian Burns wrecked us. Now, we should win pretty handily. Hopefully, we get some key injury people back from injury. It's a division game, so I just expect it to be close. Well, no, you know what? Fuck that. I expect us to steamroll these people.
I'm thinking 27-7.
I need a convincing win because we ain't did it all year. I need a convincing win.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't need a 30 burger. I need a 30 burger.
The way this offense struggles to
Give
score,
me 30.
bro.
Give me 31-0.
Oh wow. Ooh, 0? I don't know, but like when I think about it, 24 or 27-7. I'll probably go 24-7 just because we haven't really top. Well, I think 25 has been our max all season, right?
28 versus the Bucks. Versus not the Bucks. Versus
Tw-
the Cardinals.
Cardinals. Okay, so 28. 28 has been our high mark this season. So yeah, I'll go 27-7. I think they get on the board, but same mindset. Same mindset. I'm looking for a very convincing one. This interim coaching staff seems like some dudes are playing for their job, playing for their ability to even stay into the league. But I don't think their team is talented enough. Top to bottom, 2-52. Yeah, like if you line them up player for player, like Brian Burns is probably better than any pass rusher we have outside of. No, I would say Brian Burns is probably better than any pass rusher we have. Grady's hurt. Calais is old. I would say Brian Burns is better than any pass rusher we have. J.C. Horn.
Okay, this might be a hot take. Ebiketti's trending.
Slick, but he had no flash this week.
Yeah, he did.
We gassed him up. We gassed him up, and he had no flash this week. He had no sacks.
Yes, he missed it, but he beat Tristan Wirfs like in the first drive, but he missed the sack, but we still forced the fourth down.
Horseshoes and hand grenades, big dog. Horseshoes and hand grenades. Horseshoes and hand grenades.
No, pressures. The pressures are there. He's beating quality linemen. I'm just saying.
He is. He's
trending. I didn't say he's there. I said he's trending.
But Brian Burns is obviously still better than any pass rusher we have currently. J.C. Horn is probably better than our number 2 corner, right?
That's not saying much.
Chin is maybe better than Grant.
He's better than Grant. He's better than Grant.
Hey, Jeremy Chin been having a rough season, bro. I think he's living off name right now, if you just want to be honest.
Jeremy Chin at least made a Pro Bowl. What Grant did?
He's made a Pro, but I'm saying, like, he's living off name right now. He's having a terrible season, bro. He's having a terrible
season. The Panthers are having a terrible season.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying him specifically, like, he's getting beat deep. I think he was out for injury for a little bit. Like, he's having a bad season. And I don't mean that to pile on. I'm just saying, like, he's having a bad season.
But just to say one thing, right? Hold on. So Brian Burns, he's having a okay season. He only has 6 sacks. Arnold has 5.5. Arnold has where is it? Come on, give me the number. Oh, yeah, he got 5. He got 5.5. So Burns is only half a sack better than him right now. That's all I'm saying. And Ebiketie ain't even getting full-time snaps.
Yeah, but Burns is also doing it as a starter with like years of production behind him, bro. Like,
but you can't bring up his years of production and then not do it for Jeremy Chin, though.
I'm saying it, which is why I said he's better than Grant. I said Jeremy Chin was better than Grant. Hey, maybe this is a look.
He better than
Brian Burns' bad season. Brian Burns' bad season is 6 sacks right now. Jeremy Chin's bad season is just this shit is looking terrible. Like, I don't even know what the numbers say. He might have a pick. I don't know, but like
me and you can go do what Grant doing. We can go get beat for a game with a touchdown.
Nah, facts. You know what I'm saying? Like I give you the 1-2. Hey, and same way. I'm gonna get called for defensive holding too. I'm gonna get called for defensive holding too, bro.
I'm gonna tackle you.
You fast? Well, you fast.
Like, I'm gonna be a pass interference merchant.
You feel me? You feel me?
But
and sometimes it ain't gonna get called, and I'm gonna do the little
seatbelt, yeah, strap.
But in all truth and honesty, man, like I look at it in totality. I don't think that the Panthers can hang with us. I don't want to be the dead horse.
They shouldn't.
It's not too.
They shouldn't be able to. But
yeah, and
leave it to the Falcons.
I think that leads us straight into in division. So come on the in division, bro. Because we got to talk about it. So right now, you got the Bucs at 6 and 7. They're next versus the Packers, who play tomorrow night. Or who play Monday night. I don't know when y'all listen to this. They play Monday night, right? We're next 6 and 7 versus the Panthers, right? We already talked about that game. The Saints are 6 and 7 versus the Giants, who play Monday night. And then you got the Panthers last 1-11 versus us. Now, the Bucs and the Saints are playing teams that play Monday. So they'll be playing both those games off short rest, right? The Giants have been, they've shown a little bit of life with the Italian mobster, Tommy Cutlets or whatever his name is. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. They've shown a little bit of life there. Yeah. They showing a little bit of life there. And then the Packers are legit in the mix, bro. And like all the people that was shitting on Love, I just want to say, if you a long time listener to the pod, I know y'all remember this. And I actually think this was one of me and your first conversations and interactions on Facebook. It was in a Falcons group where I said 2 years ago when Ryan was still on the team that we should have traded a third round pick for Jordan Love after Rodgers won his MVP and he was going to stay for the next 2 seasons. Because I said the Packers were wasting Love's rookie contract and we should be able to capitalize on that, especially if we weren't going to draft a QB in the first round. And me and you went back and forth for a minute and he was like, okay, I kind of see where you're going. I don't think they're going to make the move. This is what I saw out of this kid, bro. Like he moves fluidly, he moves effortlessly. Is he gonna make some throws to make you go, "Oh my God, what the hell are you doing?"
Yeah.
But he's also gonna make some throws to you go, "Oh my God, like bro,
Oh my
what
God,
are
what
you
did you?
doing, dude?" Like yes, like it's he's raw. He's very raw, but the kid can ball, man. And like he needed the years of refinement. I really wish we would have made that move. Um, and y'all could go back and
That's some.
I
That's
want
a
to say
move
it
that
was
was
a
never
game
on the
versus
table
it.
because I think this is always a plan. They
Yeah,
took him,
yeah, yeah.
they took him with the plan of development, so he was never going to get traded. Um, yeah, but yeah, he is definitely heating up. Definitely heating up.
And I'm not gonna lie to you. I think the Packers are gonna beat the. I think they're gonna beat the Bucs. And if they do, that moves them to 6-8. That moves us into a really good position. If the Bucs mess around and beat the Packers, we are in a world of trouble if we don't beat the Panthers. Now, we broke down how that schedule looked last week, right? We talked about what losses we could afford to have, what losses we couldn't afford to have. We can't afford to lose to both the Bucs and the Panthers. Like we have to win one. Like, we got to split.
Realistically,
The
we can't
Colts.
afford much else.
I mean, the Colts next week. The Colts
We
2 weeks from now. We could technically afford to lose that game, but then we have to beat the
no.
Bears, and then it would be for the division versus the Saints.
Right now, we are in a three-way tie. We can't afford much of nothing.
I'm just saying. Mathematically, in general, we could afford to lose.
Mathematically, you can't afford much of nothing. It's 4 games to go. You got a three-way tie. One loss could fuck your season up.
But if that loss is an AFC loss,
It don't matter if it's AFC loss. It don't matter if it's AFC loss. It don't matter because if they keep winning,
and
it's all for naught.
you play the Saints. You play the Saints.
But guess what? If
and
the
the Saints
Bucs
play the
don't
Bucs.
lose, it don't matter.
Nah, if the Bucs
I
don't
think
lose,
the
it
Bucs
don't
gonna be
matter.
there.
But the Bucs are.
It don't matter.
The Bucs
So
are going to
we
lose.
can't afford. We can't. You hope they lose, but the Bucs are a good team.
Bro, Tampa's remaining schedule is so they play the Saints, right? So that's going to eliminate part of that tie one way or another. They're going to play the Saints. They play the Jags. They play the Packers, Jags, Saints, and then Panthers. The Panthers might be a win. It looks like January 7th. January 7th is going to decide this division one way.
I think all 4 of those is wins. Because
so you think the Bucs? Hold on. No, because I need you to say this out loud.
Hold on. Listen. Trevor Lawrence has got a sprained ankle. He's not 100% right now. They're going to boost the shit out of him.
This is 2 weeks away.
The Panthers, you know how long a high ankle sprain takes to heal? They're going to boost the shit out of him. So you got them, you got the Panthers. You got the Saints, and what's the last team?
No, so like they play Packers this week. Or they play Packers next week.
Yeah.
Right? They play Packers next week. They play the Jags the week after that.
They could beat the Jags, especially with Trevor Lawrence on a bum ankle.
Then they play the Saints. Then they play the Panthers.
The Jags is our best shot. And Trevor Lawrence
hear
on a
me
bum
out.
ankle.
So the Bucs entered this game 5-7. You think they are about to go on a 5-game winning streak?
It's possible, shit. Anything possible.
I could
because
shit gold tomorrow. That's possible, but like it's not gonna happen, bro.
No,
Like it's not gonna happen, bro.
it's not out of the realm of possibility. What team? What? Those 4 teams. What one of them teams is like? They ain't beating them. None of them. None of them maybe, but they can't beat them. Not one team you named made me think. Oh well, they're not gonna win that game.
I mean,
Those are all 4 of those games are winnable games. Will they win them all? Maybe not. But those are all very winnable games.
they dominated the Saints last time they played. They barely beat the
They
Panthers the last time they played. Their losses have been to the Steelers, their losses have been to the Eagles, the 49ers, the Lions, one against us, the Bills, a barn burner versus the Texans, and the Colts.
ain't losing the
I
bums.
can see it.
That's what I'm saying.
I can see it. I can see it. They're winning the games they're supposed to win. I don't think they're going to beat the Packers. We need to be cheeseheads
I think they
this
can.
coming week.
I mean, yeah, for our personal own thing, yeah, we need them to lose. But it's very possible that they can win out. I hope they don't, but those are all very winnable games.
So if they win their next 2 and puts them at 8-7, we would absolutely need the Saints to beat them. And then January 7th would decide the division one way or another because they would be playing the Panthers and we'd be playing the Saints. So, like we talked about last week. Yeah, but like we talked about last week, 9-8 is going to win this division. I don't see them going 10-7. I don't even if they're able to win all 4 of these games, I just don't think they will. I don't trust the coach. I don't trust Baker. Like 10-7, I just don't see that happening. So just to be completely honest, I think that they're gonna slip up in one of those games, and 9-8 wins the division. It's just who's gonna go 9-8.
So okay, so 9-8 wins the division, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we're 9-8 and they're 9-8, they still getting over us.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, they do. They're on the tiebreaker right now.
No, we won. Listen, so that's why I was saying the Colts. That's why I was saying the Colts victory is important, or the Colts game isn't as important, right? So check this out. If they lose to the Packers, right? We lose to the Colts, and then we go they went out, we went out, we go 9-8. They go 9-8. We would have 5 division wins. They would have 5 division wins, right? Then the next, it will go to conference record. At that point in time, if they lose to the Packers and we lose to the Colts, we will have the better conference record. That's what I'm saying. Mathematically, we can afford to lose that game.
We can't afford much of nothing.
Man, hear the math and be like, yeah, no, fuck all that. No. I don't care.
We can't afford much of nothing. We can't afford much of nothing.
No, granted, you win 4 games in a row, you don't have to worry about any of this, right? But I'm just speaking realistically, right? I'm just speaking realistically. The Bears have all of a sudden have a heartbeat, right? So, like, that's actually what I wanted to get into. So if we look at how the standings are. Yeah, we look at how the standings are right now, right? So you got the 49ers in the 1 spot. Right now, you got the Eagles in 2, but Dallas just beat them, right? You got the Lions at the 3, and you got the Bucs in the 4 slot.
But actually, I think Dallas is in the 2 spot.
No, I think Eagles still got the better division record for right now. Either division or conference. Eagles should still be 2 after this game. Even with the loss, they should still be 2 after this game. They lost the tiebreaker versus the Eagles, but see, that's why I be this division and conference record shit come in handy, bro. I be trying to tell you, you don't be listening. But they should still be 2 after this game. Lions 3, Bucs 4, Cowboys 5. The Vikings right now are sitting at 6. And then the Packers, they haven't played, but at this exact moment, they're sitting at 7. Right? Then you got Rams or Seahawks is 8 and 9. Not really sure which one based on conference and division record and whatnot. We dropped all the way from 4-10 with the loss today.
Did with the Bucks at 9. 11.
No, the Bucks. No, the Bucks are at 4.
I meant Bears.
Hmm?
I meant Bears. Bears.
No, Saints are at 11.
No, I said so Bears are at 12. Because Bears
are at 12. Bears are not mathematically out of this. That's what, like, bro. I'm trying to like.
But
do
we
you
gotta
understand?
play them.
We gotta play them. Here's the crazy part. They could literally help us because they still gotta play against the Vikings again.
And they could also hurt us.
They could. Right?
But the thing is,
I'm not taking that away.
The thing is, if the Vikings and us got the same record, they still get in over us because they won the head-to-head.
Vikings would get in with the head-to-head, right? You look at the Bears schedule
that
real quick.
don't really do as much good unless the Vikings just bottom out.
No, so listen, they still no. The only team they have left to play is the Packers, right? So the only team they have left to play is the Packers, who's sitting in the 7th spot right now. So if we beat them, they could help us play spoiler to get us into the 7th spot if we don't end up getting the division, right? But like we're still behind the Rams and Seahawks right now, who I'm pretty sure the Seahawks are going to fall out of it with this whole Geno injury. But the Rams are still alive and kicking at 6-7, and they have a better conference record than us right now. So I think 9-8 wins the division, but it's entirely possible that 9-8 won't get you in the playoffs. A 9-8 team would get in, but it wouldn't be us. And if you look at the teams we've lost to, the Cardinals and the Commanders, nowhere on these lists. Nowhere, not like mathematically eliminated at this point. And those are the ones that really hurt you because those are NFC losses on teams that ain't even competitive.
Yeah.
The Vikings lost, they're starting to look really, really bad considering the Pasternak just got benched today and they lost, they won 3-0. But like we discussed with the Jets, a win is a win. You know what I'm saying? But like these losses are looking like they look terrible, bro. The Vikings, Cardinals, and Commanders loss look terrible in their 3 NFC losses. That put us in a position to where when we lose a game to the Bucs, we drop all the way from 4-10.
The Titans loss look bad. All of these losses look bad, but hey, it is what it is.
I don't think the Bucs loss looks terrible. I don't think it looks terrible, but like we don't have the full picture yet, right? The Bucs may just be hitting their stride.
But like bad because that was a very winnable game, and it should have been. It's a game we should have won. But
it's a game we should have won. The Jags loss doesn't look bad.
Jags and Lions losses. I'm not mad at those. The other ones,
I don't know. I think the Lions. I think the Bears got the Lions number, bro. Because on Thanksgiving they played them really good, and today they beat the hell out of them, dog.
And I don't know how we're gonna do against a quarterback like Justin Fields that will run.
So one of the big trade rumors that I think just needs to go ahead and get squashed. Justin Fields to the Falcons. That was last offseason. Now it's starting to resurface again. I just want to publicly come out and say they're not going to do that shit. Like, at all. There's no reason to. We won't. There's no reason to do that shit. At all. I like Justin Fields, right? I think he's cool to watch. But, like, the only quarterback that they're going to get on this roster is maybe a veteran quarterback that is no type of threat to Ritter at all. Ritter is the guy. If Smith is here next year, Ritter's here.
My thing, we don't know how desperate they're going to be after this season. So, if you can get, because the thing is, the way it's looking like, the Panthers keep doing what they're doing, the Bears will have the first and second pick. Now,
Mm-hmm.
are the Bears going to look at one of the quarterbacks and be like, "No, we go with Fields," or are they going to be like, "Nah, Fields, you just go ahead and roll out, boy"? Now,
I'm gonna
if
be
that's what they
honest with
do,
you.
if that's what they do, you think Atlanta wouldn't be like, "Hey, I got a third or fourth for you"? Can't rule it out because
Are you gonna pick up his fifth year option?
we don't know how desperate they are.
I wouldn't. I'm not gonna pick up his fifth year option, right?
You won't, but I'm just saying we
I,
don't know how desperate they are. That's all I'm saying.
you can get a. Hey, you can get a five.
Because the thing is, as
You can
much
get
as
a. You can get
because the thing is,
a
I'm
five
not
and
a
a
Field,
conditional.
I'm not a Fields fan, but at the same time, his running ability would raise the floor of offense.
The talent is there. The talent is there, but talent gets you fired, bro. Like he has all the tools to look amazing, bro. One of the things Kyle Shanahan took Fields off his board for was that he couldn't read the field. What is your main problem with Ritter? He has issues reading the field. So you're going to get an athletic guy
I
who
don't,
doesn't read the
I don't
field.
think that's Ritter's main issue.
This man threw a no look pass like he was in the NBA earlier today, bro. What are we? What are
I
we
still
doing?
don't think that's his issue. Decision making, yeah, but reading the field, I don't think that's his issue. It's a combination of a lot of things. But I think he sees the field relatively well. He makes boneheaded decisions because he got a strong arm and he think he can fit it in there sometimes. But I don't think him reading the field is his issue because that's one of his actual strengths. And accuracies is the thing with him. Um, but yeah, he's gonna. I like him better as a passer than I like Fields. I feel like he
I
sees the
think you
field.
get. I
I think
think
he
you get
sees
the
the field
exact
better
same
than Fields.
player. One of them is just faster.
I don't think they're the same player.
In terms of what they do well and what they do bad, screw what they do well. In terms of what they do bad, you get the player with the exact same weaknesses. One of them is just faster.
I disagree with that.
I feel
And
like
and
Fields'
the film
record kind
and
of
the film
shows
and the film study that I've done disagrees with that too. But
what part of Fields having a strong arm, bailing out of
it,
situations,
no,
having turnover
no,
issues. These are the exact same issues that you see with Ritter.
it's not the exact same. Looking at the box score and then looking at the film is not the same.
No, I'm not saying looking at the box score. I'm literally saying, look at does Fields have a strong arm? Yes or no?
Yes, but that's not what I'm
Does
talking
he
about.
does he try does he try
No,
to fit the ball in the
my
situations
my
that he shouldn't
pushback
have?
was you. My pushback was you saying that Ritter doesn't see the field, and I disagree with that. I think Ritter is just trying to do a little hairball sometimes. I think he sees the field way better than Fields does. I think he's a better processor than Fields is. Fields is more talented, absolutely, but I think Ritter is the better above the neck player when it comes to those two.
I I can agree to disagree with there. I just don't think either one presents a. I think they both have really high levels of upside. I don't feel either one is a significant upgrade over the other.
I can agree with
I
that.
don't
I
feel
don't think
like
it's.
either one is a significant upgrade over this other. I
I
think
don't
that
see a reason to go get a Fields. I'm just saying, desperation breeds a lot of crazy things.
I don't see a
No,
point. Yeah, I don't see a
it's not.
point in which you
The
would.
thing is, it's not about what we see. It's about how desperate they are. We don't know how desperate they are. We don't know what it's like between because they can come out and tell us everything's rainbows and sunshine, and back there it's December 21st, 2021. We don't know.
Yeah, also true. Also true. So at the end of the day, the Bears ain't out of it. The Saints, I think their only path forward, just based on their schedule, would be to win the division, and it would need a collapse by us and the Bucks. But because they got some bad
Is that
losses too,
impossible?
it's not. It's shaping up that January 7th game is to be decided for the Bucks as well. So it's shaping up that the Bucks, Panthers, and the Falcons, Saints are is really going to shape up this division. Now, I will say, based on what that Saints Bucks game does the week before and what the Falcon Bears game does the week before, they'll either flex our game to prime time, or flex the Bucs game to the 4 slot and keep us in the 1 slot. The reason being is that, so say we lose that game, Bucs win that game, and we need the Bucs to lose for us to go to the playoffs, right? They would have us play first so that they could like really increase the desperation for that game and whatnot. If the Bucs lose, and then they need us to lose, obviously the Bucs are going to play first. You know what I'm saying? So it's just that January 7th is looking shaping up to be like a really important game against the Saints.
Yeah, no, it's definitely every game is important. This game, this week's important. The next week's important. Like the hole that we put ourselves in, we can't afford to have any missteps because any minor misstep is a huge risk. So
I mean that's true. That's
like we are in sink or swim every game to playoff game. We need to be in playoff mode right now. Then
I believe it.
They have to approach every game as if it's the playoffs if they want to survive, because that's ultimately what it is. Because Arthur Smith could be coaching for his job right now. You got players that could be playing for their next coach or their next team. Like, it's a lot of stakes on the line for these next 4 games, and we need to see the best version, or at least a cleaner version of the Atlanta Falcons offense, because the defense has been doing their thing.
Yeah, I feel like like we talked about, they ran out of gas today, but for the most part, you can't hold them against what they've been doing for a majority of the season. All right, man, let's get into some city talk. Go ahead and get out of here. The first thing that I want to talk about in city talk, bro, the money in sports is ridiculous.
Especially that baseball money. That baseball money.
Shohei Otahni, best player in the game, 10 years, $700 million.
Say what?
You got to put your pinky to you. Pinky to your mouth when you say it. $700 million. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, bro, the money is stupid, bro. But
no, I seen an interesting fact. So you break that 710 years, that's $70 million a year, right? He makes more per year than 8 baseball teams' whole roster combined.
I could believe it.
Like,
the Dodgers are the team that paid him, bro.
Yeah. No, but like that 70 million, what Miami, their total roster is something up to 60 million. Did you have 7 other teams that are less than that?
I can't name all of them, but I would probably say Miami, Kansas City, Oakland, just these moribund franchises, bro. And to be honest with you, stuff like that is why baseball is dying, bro. Like, and you look at that contract and you're like, oh yeah, what do you mean baseball is dying, bro? Like, there's certain teams that just cannot compete. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the NFL, you got a salary cap floor. You also have a salary cap, like you have a ceiling. And so there's a certain level in which all teams can compete, all teams can pay. You know what I'm saying? In baseball, you don't have that. And so, like, you have these coastal teams that can just, like, they can just pay amounts that you can't pay, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
but I mean,
if your job comes, we ain't gonna out you or nothing, but your job's reasonable. You know what I'm saying? You make a decent living or whatnot. If the job around the corner comes to you and says, Taj, love what you're doing, you're great at what you do, I'm gonna offer you 13x what you're making right now. It doesn't matter how much you like where you're at. It doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter. And like, jobs around your area can be like, oh, Taj, we'll pay you 50 cents more, we'll pay you $1 more, we'll pay you $1.50 more. A job comes along and says, take your base rate and multiply it by 13. Like, bro, it's not a question. And the other jobs can't really compete in that field. And like, now granted, we kind of, I'm a Braves fan, and we do kind of benefit from that. You know what I'm saying? Braves got deep pockets. A lot of that had to do with the cable network contracts, and the fact that in the Southeast they were the only team for a very long period of time. So you know what I'm saying? You got a lot of
But the
Braves
thing
fans in the whole
is,
Southeast. They make a
the
lot of
Braves is
money.
cheap. If we just being honest, we we are relatively cheap because we were in the Shohei thing, but we weren't gonna give him that kind of money.
Bro, no, no. So
And it's not that we couldn't because the thing is, with a player like Shohei,
they're
that
paying them for two
contract
positions.
they are, but that contract gonna pay for itself because he brings you a whole other fan base. Because
Okay,
he got
so
all of
that's what I wanted
Japan
to
with
talk
him.
about. That's what I wanted to talk about, though. Does he bring that? Does he bring that fan base in Atlanta?
He brings it wherever he goes because
No. So
he's their crown jewel right now. So wherever he
so
goes,
I want to kind of mix sports for a minute, right? So you look at a lot of Chinese fans are Houston fans, right?
yeah, because you know what I mean.
Because of Yao Ming, right? But also the Central Time Zone matches up to where they're watching games in the morning over there, right? 6, 7 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about Japan, right, in relation to the Eastern Time Zone, they're playing a 5 o'clock game in the afternoon. Isn't that like 2 or 3 in the morning over there?
I mean, you got people that's still gonna be
If
up.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, and like if you're in LA, it's a late night game. It's like a 10, 11 o'clock at night. And so it's kind of like an event to watch him on the West Coast, right? That's why I think the Yankees were never truly in it. Also, traveling from Japan to LA is a trek, right? But like traveling from Japan to New York or Japan to the East Coast, Atlanta, that's a totally different beast and monster, right? You're traveling over landmass, or like you're traveling over landmass one way or another. You're looking at 16, 18 hour flights. It's ridiculous. And that's why it never struck me that he was leaving California. You know what I'm saying? Like as soon as the Dodgers were in it, I'm like, the Dodgers are gonna get him. And look at the freaking money. Wasn't nobody putting up that money, bro. And just because he brings that fan base, I don't feel like you're right. That contract is going to pay for itself, but they're able to capitalize on it paying for itself. You feel me? Like I don't think like had he gone to the Astros, had he gone to the Twins, I don't think they're going to be able to capitalize on that fan base the same way the LA Coast will.
I mean, I can agree with that, but I still think regardless of where he went, LA does make the most sense. But regardless of where he went, he was bringing a fan base with him.
Yeah, and can we just talk about the crap show that is the LA Angels? You've had Mike Trout and Shohei Otani for 6 years, one playoff berth, bounced in the first round.
Yeah,
This is a terrible franchise, bro.
it is.
Like you moved from
But
Anaheim to LA, right? Because you wanted to get the bigger fan base. You wanted to Anaheim wasn't paying for nothing or whatever. You moved to LA. You're the 10th most popular franchise in your city, right? Both NFL teams, the Dodgers, the Lakers, hell, the Clippers are even better than you. The Sparks might be better than you. You know what I'm saying in terms of popularity. And you've had two of the most dominant, best players in the game for years and can't do nothing with it.
yeah,
It's just it's terrible. And I don't blame him for leaving. I actually question why Mike Trout don't leave, to be honest with you.
well, I mean, Mike Trout's still making that good money. But whenever that contract ends, who knows?
One thing I will say though, Shohei's not pitching next year, right? He's only
No,
gonna bat.
yeah,
So
he'll recover
when
from
he
the injury.
so when he does come pitch in 2025, I feel like that would change the landscape a bit for the National League in general. But even as a hitter, dude's dominant, right? Dude's dominant. I wouldn't consider him an awesome base runner, but he does get on base and he is able to get those extra base hits.
He fast now. He's fast.
Yeah, but he hasn't. What's the stolen bases look like? He's more of a power hitter.
Hmm?
He's definitely more of a power hitter.
Base. me see.
I'd be surprised if it was over. I'd be surprised if it was over 25 this season. Because what he played, 155?
I think so. Shohei bases stolen. Here we go. $86.
Was that for his career?
Mm-mm.
Or was that last season?
It says for this for the past season. It says ahead of his, or it could be. Hold on, is it career or was it the season?
I'm pretty sure that's career. If he stole 86 bases in a season, that man is the GOAT. You understand me? Like from here on out, like
Yeah, 40.
yeah, he had 44 home runs.
No, he had 20 stolen bases. Okay.
Yeah, he had 20.
Yeah.
Like a little.
Yeah, 20. Yeah,
80,
20.
86 for his career. Yeah, and 20 was relatively high. Relatively high. He went 10, 12. Yeah, he went 10, 12, 7, 26, 11, 20. And then what? He only played 135 games. So he probably could have broke 25. So that's not, hey, shit, dude can run the bases. But hey, he's 5'2". He's a pitcher too. Like, hey, they're paying him for two positions.
He got the 700 for a reason.
Yeah. Now when I looked at him being a power hitter, 44 home runs, 95 RBIs. You feel the hey, dude, yeah, he's a power hitter to me. You know what I'm saying? Like you knock out 40 and drive in 95, bro, you're a power hitter, bro. But AL MVP, dominant on the mound. Can't wait to see what he does in the National League. Just going to see him as a hitter next year, but well deserved. And I think that speaks to a larger thing. I think once we get into the basketball pod and maybe the offseason, we can discuss a lot of these topics a bit more, is how the world views sports opposed to how the U.S. views sports and the development of it. Because we kind of tell our kids, you got to be a pitcher or you got to be a 5-tool base stealing, base hitting outfielder. We never really keep those kids that can be dominant pitchers, hitters all the way up through, right? Like we usually have them pick one.
That's right. The crazy thing is Shohei makes more than double the next person.
Yeah, they're paying him for two positions, bro. They're paying him like a number one pitcher.
Okay, my bad. Just short of double the next person because Aaron Judge makes 9 years 360, and then it just goes from 360 up to 700.
Yeah. Shohei is being paid like an ace and a power hitter, bro. Because like you look at Aaron Judge is a slugger, bro. Like he's not worried about stolen bases. He's not worried about striking out. He's worried about putting the ball over the fence and driving runs in. And so like if you look at it, Shohei is getting paid like Aaron Judge, but also getting paid like freaking Scherzer, any pitcher in their prime, bro. Like they're paying him for two positions. And I mean, you fulfill him. To be honest with you, after that UCL surgery, it's no like guarantee he's gonna come back the same dominant level of pitcher. But if the guy can give you 16 starts in the season, bro, and go 8-4, 8-3 with some no decisions in there, like it's worth it. Yeah. It's worth it. You put him into your rotation, it's worth it, bro. I don't think he's ever going to be a 22, 23 start guy anymore, but you also get him every day as a hitter. So like, it's a win. All right, last thing we're going to talk about, wrap this up, Heisman talk. Congrats on Jaden Daniels winning the Heisman. Not going to lie to you, I was a little shocked. Right, there's a sports book up here. Me and my lovely wife were in Nashville this weekend, and I seen the sports book, and I was like, I wanted to put a little scratch on Jaden Daniels. I was talking to her about it, and I was like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I just don't think they're not gonna give it to Penix after Nix had the crazy season, but he beat Nix twice head to head. I thought they were gonna give it to Penix. I really love the fact they gave it to Jaden Daniels because I think that speaks to the story of you had a crazy season. And like if you think of both LSU quarterbacks that won the Heisman, bro, don't stay in a bad situation. Don't stay somewhere you're not going to start. Don't stay somewhere that the coach doesn't believe in you. Don't stay somewhere that the offensive play calling or defensive play calling is bad. You got to make the best decision for you, right? And like, don't get me wrong, I do think some of this transfer and stuff is out of hand, right? I do think some of it is just like kids being petulant. But like, for every story of a kid that's like, I don't like that you raised your voice at me. There's a story of a kid who's being failed by an institution and goes somewhere else and shines. And if you look at all three quarterbacks that were in the Heisman race, all three of them were transfers, bro. And I think that's like that's beautiful in terms of taking control of your own legacy and what you could do for yourself, and it paid off big for the kid.
But Bo, I think it was just a graduate thing. He wanted to go to a better situation. With Penix, his first 4 years were all injury plays. Like last year and this year is the first time actually really playing. Jaden, he was playing at Arizona State, um, but it was a better opportunity to win because the team was better than LSU. So here he came.
Yeah, and he said, and he went 9-3. So like, you can't even say like because what LSU went, didn't they have 8 wins last season?
Something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, 8 wins last season, so you increased the win total by one. But he just had a crazy year. He had a bananas year, right? When I look at Bo Nix, right, I thought Bo Nix went to Oregon running from the smoke, strictly because like you couldn't handle it in the SEC. But when you think about his situation in general, they threw him in as a freshman. He lost every game to Alabama and Georgia. Uh, he grew up, got married, matured. He's a 6-year senior, if I'm not mistaken, because he took advantage of the COVID year. 6-year senior, and you really see that maturity on the field. Now, people talking about him being a first round pick, I may be biased, but I live in SEC country. I watch Bo Nix play. You're a wild man if you think you're going to draft that man in the first round. You need to slow your horses, bro. His pro comparison to me, I would probably say, because a lot of people saying Justin Herbert, and I'm like, that's disrespectful as hell. I really don't have a pro comparison, bro. Like he's not anybody I would want to see in the pros, bro. He has an elongated delivery. Rex Grossman, big guy. He looks fast in college. Really elongated delivery. Put up video game numbers under an offense that's not going to translate. Smart kid. Very mature coming in. And would benefit from having a great defense. I'll probably say Rex Grossman off the top of my head.
I don't watch enough Bo Nix to give you a pro comparison, but just due to the age thing, and this is probably his best career year. I still don't see him as
by far.
He's probably a late too early 3 in terms of draft status.
Michael Penix throws a beautiful ball. Throws a beautiful ball with anticipation, with touch. The kid can't move. He's had multiple knee injuries. Really smart, right? So because his athleticism has been sapped and he's a little older, I would say his comparison kind of falls in the Kirk Cousins range, right? If you work with him, you build, you get some anticipation, like you really highlight those qualities of anticipation, you will have a really, really good pocket passer. But he's got a pretty defined ceiling.
I think you're sleeping on his athleticism. Yes, the injuries.
I'm just thinking about the knee injuries.
The injuries, but he's still fairly athletic. He does give you that escapability. But I don't like his. I don't. It's something about him I don't like. I can't really put my finger on it, but it's just something I'm just like, I just don't think it works. He feels like a YouTube quarterback in the sense that it's like he's big game hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
He throws a really pretty ball.
he does, but he has
I think
inaccuracy issues.
yeah, I think in shorts at a pro day, you could fall in love with parts of his tape. I wouldn't be surprised if he was a late first round pick.
I would.
I wouldn't be surprised if
The
a
reason
team ends
why
up.
the reason why I would be surprised if he was a first round pick, his injury history. 2018 he was hurt. 2019 he was hurt. 2020 he was hurt. 2021 he was hurt. That's 4 years. 4
Mhm.
years straight of being not just like nicks and bruises, but hurt, like surgeries. So 2021 and 2022, no, 2022 and 2023 are the only years he's actually played out of 6 years. So 4 out of those 6 years, when you talk about making an
But
investment in somebody and their injury history is that extensive, I don't see first round.
so here's the thing though. So it's not running back, it's quarterback. I'm just saying from a team if I wanted to talk myself into it, right? Playing devil's advocate here. Is quarterback, right? They've done more to protect the quarterback than anything else. You know what I'm saying? If they didn't replace the ACL, then the ACL is just gone, which means you're going to have to deal with meniscus issues later. But that's a future GM's problem. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to worry about that. Or they can shave the meniscus down. So, like, I'm not overly concerned about that part, right? Um, talk myself into his. Are we on the other side of those injuries? Because in the 2 years, he hadn't missed a game, barely missed a snap. And he's had really high level production with a nationally ranked team, may fuck around and win a national championship this year, right? So, like, if I was a team who wanted to talk myself into it, I could really assuage him. And he's going to pass every single physical. You know what I'm saying? You already know his knees don't have ACLs or they have reconstructed ACLs. So it's like it's not a shocker or or a surprise. He hadn't had any injuries to his throwing shoulder or his throwing hand. You know what I'm saying? So like I could talk myself into it.
I don't know because he's torn ACL.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. He had a season-ending sternoclavicular joint injury.
Broke his
I'm not
collarbone.
okay. That's collarbone.
Broke
Okay,
his collarbone.
towards ACL again, and then he had an AC joint
Mm-hmm.
injury. So
Oh, so that was a shoulder. That was a shoulder.
yeah. So
But that's 2 years ago.
and he considered retiring before with the injury and said he transferred to Washington. Now, I, I that's a lot. That's
But
a lot
you
because
got to think the AC joint that was 2 years
is,
ago.
it was 2 years ago, but the thing is, you're looking like this. You got 4 consecutive years of season-ending injuries, and then you're gonna be getting hit by bigger, faster, and stronger people.
I mean, bro, ACLs can snap walking down the steps. Like I'm fat. I almost tore my ACL going to get my charger just now. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
I mean, yeah,
this shit can happen.
but it's not just the AC. It's just like it's for 4 straight seasons. It was always something.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I just think that if I'm a team, I could talk myself. I could talk myself into drafting him before I could talk myself into drafting Bo Nix.
I mean, yeah, you probably could, but and then on top of that, he's what 24. So you got
Yeah,
a long injury history, and then you're an older prospect.
but you got to think about the quarterbacks that are drafted, bro. People talk themselves into quarterbacks all the time.
They
People
do.
talk themselves into quarterbacks all the time.
How many have this injury history? Because the thing is, injury history is something that actually translates. Unfortunately,
Not necessarily. Not
so
necessarily because you have guys who get hurt like all through college and end up being like great in the pros. You have
so
guys
so
who never are injured in college
so
and then
so,
just can't stay healthy.
so recently, like Joe Burrow had injury history in college. He's missed had two season ending injuries in 5 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
That like I'm just saying, like
I
like
mean,
Lamar Jackson, he's had injury issues in college. He's had injury issues in the NFL as well.
but look at somebody like Look at Darren Waller. He did cocaine binges, never missed a game
Who?
in college. Darren Waller,
But
tight
look at him
end.
now. He can't stay healthy for nothing.
That's what I'm saying. He was super healthy in college. He just got injured as soon as he got to the league. Then you have dudes who are like, what's his name? What's his name? Here's the crazy part. I'm gonna text you about this later, like it's gonna make a difference, and I couldn't remember it right now in the pod. But I'm gonna remember this name and I'm gonna text it to you. This is a guy because I had this conversation, used him as an example. He was always injured in college, and he hasn't suffered any injury in the league. I'm trying to remember who it is. Bump it. Point is, let's get to the last one. Jaden Daniels. There's a lot of buzz around him being a first round pick, right? I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm not a fan.
It doesn't seem like something I would personally do, but then again, I'm not an NFL GM. Not yet anyway. He had a monster year. He went through a lot of dysfunction over there at Arizona. If I had somebody, he's a very, very poor man's Lamar. That's nah. He's nowhere near as fast as Lamar. I would say, hell, maybe like a poor man's Deshaun.
No, he's faster than Deshaun.
He's a little faster than Deshaun, but he's not quite as fast as Lamar. I can't say he overly struggles with accuracy, but he was throwing to some wide open receivers. LSU has dominant athletes. I just think that
Because like Malik Neighbors, who is someone that I do let the Falcons to draft, just going on record and saying that. But Malik Neighbors is an elite separator. They have receivers that can get you wide open, so that makes your throws easier. So like, I was talking to someone the other day who was breaking down some LSU film, and he said he came away with the impression that Malik Neighbors is just that good, and Jalen Daniels is fine. Like he said, Jalen Daniels is better than he initially thought he was, but he really kind of just summed it up to like the amount of separation that these receivers give the quarterback to throw.
yeah, and you see how that translates when you get guys like Mac Jones, right? If you don't have elite talent on the outside, your ball placement has to be more precise. And your ball placement looks amazing in college because you have guys constantly winning on the outside. When you have to make tight window throws, then now it looks like, dog, this dude couldn't complete a ball through a tire. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, but that was never his skill. You know what I'm saying? You kind of just told yourself that. He doesn't look to be an extreme like accuracy type of guy. He doesn't wow you away with speed. He seems like he doesn't do anything really well. And my comp for career comparison seems to be like EJ Manuel, to be honest with you, where you're going to have a guy who's slightly overdrafted, right? I'm not saying in terms of physicality. I'm saying you're going to have a guy who's overdrafted, put in a increasingly bad situation, asked to do some stuff he's not really comfortable doing, and not be able to give him long enough leash to figure out what you want doing from him, because that pick is going to get somebody fired.
My thing is, I'm not going to say that because unlike EJ Manuel, this dude has 4 years worth of college experience. He's been a starter. Now, my comp. I don't know if I have a real clean one. Like, because he's tall, but he's very thin. And with him running the way he does, I'm not sure how much he's going to hold up in the NFL. I might give you a little throwback, Aaron Brooks.
I can see that. I can see that. Decent mobility, good enough arm. And Aaron Brooks had time to develop for a little bit, right? He was Saints quarterback for what, 6 years?
Something like that.
4 years, something like that.
I can't remember the specifics.
Because I know him and Vic went like back to back for a couple of years. So yeah, I could see something like that. I could see something like that where you get a chance to ride it out for a team for a little bit. But I think ultimately he's going to experience changing coaching staffs consistently. Because I feel like he has the talent and the moldable skill, and everybody's gonna think I can fix it. I'm gonna be the one to bring that out of him.
Because like of the 3 quarterbacks, he's the only one I think has realistic possibility to be a first round pick. I think he should probably go in the second, but quarterbacks in a position to where if you rank a second round, they're going to overdraft you into the first anyway. They're always going to put
every
you
time.
So, he's of the quarterbacks. He's probably quarterback number 3. He's probably going to go toward maybe anywhere to the middle to the back end of the first, maybe early second. We already know the top 2, Caleb Williams and Drake May. Those are the crown jewels of the draft.
Slick Drake May had a terrible end to the season. I don't think he's playing in the bowl game. He put some really bad film out. I don't think it drops him from the number 2 spot, from the number 2 quarterback spot, but I think it might drop him from being the number 2 overall pick. We'll see how that rolls out closer to draft season.
I think the body of work's still going to be fine. And I wouldn't be so sure that he's the number 2 pick. I'm seeing that a lot of front office guys like his skill set better than they like Caleb's just because of the fact he can play in structure. Caleb has a lot of bad tendencies when it comes to breaking structure, and like it just depends on what you want. Do you want the sound like guy, or do you want the guy who's going to just run the play that you want as you want it? Like, because Caleb's greatest trait is the play after the play. Drake May's greatest trait is making the play within the play. You call this play, and you're gonna get that play. But he's gonna do it at a very high level. I'm not so sure that Caleb Williams could do that same thing at a high level because they're on 2 opposite ends of the spectrum.
So I think as we get closer to draft season, we'll see how that one plays out. The last Heisman invitee, Marvin Harrison Jr. Marvin Harrison was one of my favorite wide receivers growing up. His son is a just monster.
That's a top 5 pick right there.
Yeah, easily. Comparison, probably his dad. Be honest with you, a smooth route runner, good hands.
I mean, yeah, but
his dad was probably better hands.
He's quite a bit bigger than his dad, though.
Yeah,
dad was 6 foot.
Yeah.
His dad was 6 foot. He's 6'4".
Yeah, he a little bigger. So smooth athlete.
Probably.
I would say Pops had better hands.
I'm not even going to say that much, but my pro comp for him, AJ Green.
That's fair. Tall, lanky guy, gets smooth in and out of breaks, fast.
Smooth, great body control.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the explosive athlete that Julio is, but I think his athleticism is more in line with AJ Green. So
yeah. Like he got a basketball player type of build. So something I actually wanted to talk to you about. We can get out of this one. We can get out of this one quick. Certain traits, right, that we talk about in college athletes that are not particular to the college game, and then we try to like put those into the NFL game, right? So like you'll hear when they talk about receivers, like great body control. Usually what they're talking about is the ability to make a catch on the sideline. But the college rules are different than the NFL, right? The hitting rules are different than the NFL, and your contact with the ground is different than in the NFL. So like that's why you'll get certain methods where you'd be like, oh, guy has great body control. He gets a league and can't catch the ball. You know what I'm saying? Or he can't complete a catch, or he can't work the sideline, so he takes certain routes out of his repertoire. And as we move into draft season, I definitely want to, like when we do our in-depth analysis or whatever, I really want to talk about the translating types to how it translates to the NFL game and what things are just nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I don't feel like that applies to Marvin Harrison Jr. I do believe he has actual great body control, right?
I think the body control thing is sideline, but it's also like the ability to catch the ball away from your body and to keep everything else in sync while you're doing that.
Now, and another part of that is catching the ball in traffic, which isn't a huge part of the college game, depending on where you play.
Yeah.
Yeah, depending on where you play. So I think that's definitely going to be part of our draft analysis. But we have a long way to the draft. We have a whole playoff run. Hell, we might be talking about the Falcons at pick 31 and 32. Right? So enjoy you guys today. Don't do that. Don't do that, man. Like you gotta have faith. You kill me sometime. You know? Fix your face. All right. This been your boy Q City.
Your boy Taj Bravado.
We out.
Peace.